Do they know about the gene mutation yet?
They do. I told my son right away when I tested positive. He's very mature for his age, so I explained to him because he needed to know that, well, mommy's gonna have these surgeries, mommy's gonna be kind of out of it for a while, and somebody else is gonna be taking care of you. And then even with my daughter, I've kind of like, haven't kept things from them. I'm not sure they realize that it's what it means for them yet, that one day they're gonna be tested. That's not something I've spoken to them about. I've just talked about my own experience, and they're a little bit young to be able to make that leap to, this is gonna happen to
So
me
you
too.
don't think they understand they're at risk?
I don't think they understand that they're at risk yet. I'm very close with my kids, and I didn't like the idea of hiding it from them, of not really explaining what was going on. But at the same time, they were young. The reason I told my son is because I knew he could handle it. He doesn't tend to have a lot of anxiety. He's very mature for his age. And I could explain it to him in a way that made him understand what was going on and put him at ease that this means mommy's not going to get sick. He had seen, like I said, my mother was going through cancer treatment, and he had seen what was going on with his grandmother. So I said, this is a good thing. This is good that we found this out, and that this means I'm not going to get sick. And I judged basically how mature my own kids were. I know them, and I knew they were okay with knowing this. I told them everything I needed to tell them at once, and they really haven't had a whole lot of questions. It's a lot for a little kid to really understand, and I think they're just kind of like, okay, this is the new normal, and then put it aside and gone back to whatever they were doing before. They haven't really, they haven't seen me stress about it, so they haven't stressed about it. I'm not worrying nonstop or anything like that, at least I'm not in front of them, and for that reason they're not stressed about it.
I think I'll just focus on, being honest and telling them that they may have an increased risk, but that there's a lot of things that they can do, and they can be screened early, and a healthy lifestyle, and that we'll do everything together to manage that risk. And I remember when I had to tell my kids that I had cancer, which was really difficult. Sometimes a bit less is better. Kind of let them absorb it and sort of understand it, and then come back with more questions.
And I think it came up because my daughter asked, could we get it? And so that opened the door for us to, because I believe kids will ask you questions when they're ready to hear the answers. And so when she asked that question, my husband and I let her know that yes, there's a possibility, but you don't have to worry about that now. When the time comes, we'll make sure you have all the information that you need. And I think just being honest with the kids, again, using their language, not scaring them, and just letting them know that how I did it was Mommy got some really good news, and I know it might not sound like good news, but this is good news because now I know, and because I know this is the decision I made, and so make them feel good and not fear, because I think fear keeps us from doing things or learning more about something. So my husband and I didn't want to talk to them about it from a place of fear.
My mom is great in the sense that she came fully loaded with a ton of resources for me. So the most important thing for me was I found it hard because I didn't find that there were enough resources for people in my situation. So 20, 21 years old, weren't planning on having a family anytime soon, just figuring out how this affected them. That was my struggle. However, my mom, in describing sort of where she was at with this whole thing, was providing me with tons of resources on all about the gene mutation and how sort of it would impact our family as a result. So that was really comforting, because it wasn't just this sort of panic, this is something that runs in our family, we have to be careful of this. She really came with a lot of information for me, which helped me navigate and decide my feelings on it and my position on it.